if you can't be solid at all the tracks that you're going to, you're probably not going to make it very far in the playoffs. So really every week needs to be an opportunity.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cup Connection. I'm Mike Massaro, and what an amazing guest we have today, NASCAR's most popular driver, Chase Elliott. Chase, great to see you again.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, I want to tell you, I got to thank you for something first. I bought a car battery for my son this week, and they gave me this cool free gift. I mean, it's pretty neat. I appreciate that. Good little souvenir for me.
Well, I appreciate you dropping in Napa. That's even better.
Yeah, it matches my jacket. It's perfect, actually. Hey, let's talk about racing, shall we? We look at your season, man, and it's unique. It really is. I mean, I don't want to choose a word to describe it. How would you describe it?
Different. Definitely been different for sure. Kind of going through things that I've never really experienced before, which is, bad in some ways, probably good in other ways. But yeah, we've just been, since I got back from injury, just trying to improve, trying to get better and build on the things that we felt like we struggled with towards the end of last year. So it's really been, it's been different. It's definitely been a bummer to miss races and be in the position that we're in some aspects, but in other aspects, I think it gives you opportunity to kind of find new ground and learn more about yourself and your team as you go.
It's definitely giving an opportunity to prove that you can climb out of that hole. You aren't too far away from that cutoff. How do you look at the playoffs right now with 5 to go?
Yeah, I mean, since I got back, I feel like we were in a position that we needed to win. And I really still feel that way today, just because I think being in contention to win races and gaining a lot of points are likely the same thing. If you're not up front in contention in the top 5 or so, you're likely not getting many stage points, and you're certainly not contending for many wins if that's not the case. So I just kind of look at it like those are the same things. And, if we're going to be able to do one, then you're likely able to do the other. And I have felt, though, since we came back that winning was of highest priority, and I still feel that way today. But it always is, so how much really changes, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people admire that. I know I do. The point racing mentality. Yes, I understand when it's necessary, but I think a lot of folks out there really appreciate a driver who's going for that win and just not thinking about anything else. It's good to hear that that's on your mind. When you look at the races that are remaining, where do you see your best opportunity?
Honestly, I think we can go and have good runs at any of the tracks left. I mean, I think there's 5 to go. Going to Richmond this weekend, we never won at Richmond, but we've had a couple, solid top 5 runs. So I wish I could sit here and tell you, hey, that's the one. But again, kind of back to the point of running well and being in contention to win and gaining a lot of points being the same thing. I look at that very much under the same umbrella as the tracks we're coming up on. If you can't be solid at all the tracks that you're going to, you're probably not going to make it very far in the playoffs. So really every week needs to be an opportunity. And if it's not, then, you might not belong there anyway.
2 of them are road courses. I know that you've been incredibly good on those style racetracks. You feel like even with this new car that's still the same thing for you?
Again, I don't look at them any different than I look at Richmond this weekend personally. Heck, I hadn't won a road course race in a couple of years. We had a good run there for a little while, and everybody promoted me to being such a great road racer, and I tried to explain to them that wasn't the case, and we just had a really good package worked out, but nobody listened. And then now everybody thinks that I'm this great road racer. But, I look at those the same as I look at Richmond and the same as I look at, the other races, Michigan and places coming up too.
It truly is amazing how humble you can be. I mean, you're a champion, most popular driver. You won a ton of races so far. So tip the cap to you. And I actually have a cap. I can actually give you that.
There you go. The right color cap.
So there. Hey, I want to change subjects. I want to talk about your dad a little bit. I've always been a huge fan of your father. And I remember even you as a child going to the helicopter pad with your dad back when you were probably 6, 7 years old or so. How much of an influence has he had on your career, even back then, even before you started to wheel race cars?
Yeah, I mean, I would say he and my mom both have had a huge impact in my career. Um, Dad has been able to help me on the track, but also off the track too. And as time has gone on, probably more off the track than on the track, really, just because things have changed a lot. Um, and I might look at something a little differently than him, or might feel something a little differently than him. It's always interesting to me when you get a bunch of race car drivers in the same room. We might be talking about the exact same thing and have 15 different ways of explaining it. So uh, those things can sometimes be confusing to talk about. And I think that's where, from his standpoint, has been more just being dad and helping me navigate the things off the racetrack to make sure that my mind is where it needs to be at the racetrack to go and try to extract the ability that I feel like I have and that he feels like I have too. So yeah, I think it's more of just time management and trying to make sure you have all the right things in the right places and in the right order to show up prepared and ready to go.
He's been through so much of the same things you've gone through. I think back 1996, he broke his leg, right? So
Yeah.
I would imagine he can share some of that experience to help you overcome this situation that you've been in this year.
Yeah, he's broken a lot more bones than me. I don't want to catch up to him in that department. But yeah, he broke his kneecap there when he was driving for Ray when I was a kid. I remember that one. And at least I tell people, he missed races because he tripped over a watering hose. At least I was doing something cooler than that. So I at least have it beat somewhere. But yeah, we've had fun with it, over the years, and we've enjoyed going to the racetrack, and we've had some amazing opportunities to go and spend time together that I'm very grateful for, and opportunity to race in SRX together and
Yeah.
all those things. So yeah, if everything ended today, I could look back and I think we could both be really proud of the time that we spent together, his career, and how much we've worked together on my career too, and my mom as well. I mean, she's put a lot in and spent a lot of time going up and down the road with me when he couldn't. So it has definitely been a family effort.
Yeah, and for those folks out there, Chase, who don't know, your mom is just like everybody else's mom. All the soccer moms out there will appreciate this. I remember being on pit road in your pit box, and your mom would still have the camera, still taking pictures of her son, very proud, just like any other mom. So, folks out there, I think, can probably appreciate that. Hey, there's a big milestone that just out of reach for Hendrick Motorsports. That's win number 300, and it certainly could come this year. Only, I think it's 3 victories away at this point. Internally, how much do you and the other drivers want to get that marquee win?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, I just want to help. I just want to help and get there. Would I love to be the one to get across the finish line? Sure, absolutely. But I just want to feel like I'm doing my part. I had the honor of winning race 250 for HMS, which was my first win. So that was a special day for a lot of different reasons. But I do feel like I got a pretty neat opportunity and a really special day on multiple accounts. So, like I said, I would love to get us across the finish line over 300, but just to know that I've played a small role in that huge number, I'm proud of, and I'll be proud of regardless.
You should be. No doubt. We've got some fan questions. I want to get to them right now. Just actually one big one. It came from two different people. Katie and Janet both have the same question. They're curious about your pre-race routine. What you do to prepare yourself for race day.
Yeah, really, Sundays look about the same every week. I mean, most of our prep work is done throughout the week. We have a lot of conversation going into the weekend about setups and where we want our car to be, and we have debriefs after practice. So like a lot of these things are kind of all figured out, and you pretty much have what you have by Sunday. So and like I said, they look very similar. You have the occasional Saturday night race, but I would say for a normal 2:30 start on Sunday. My day gets rolling around 10 or 11. I have some sponsor obligations to take care of, and then I usually get a break. I try to eat some lunch, and then we have a team meeting, kind of final notes going into the race, driver intros, and we're headed to the car. So those 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours go by pretty quick, but we're at this point, I'm pretty used to just what Sunday looks like and so on. So it's been fun, but yeah, that routine is really just kind of become part of life, I guess, these last 7 or 8 years.
I guess so. Hey, I want to reach out to our audience one quick time here, Chase. I want to remind everyone out there, please hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look back at some of our previous interviews. We've had some really good ones. In fact, last week, Josh Berry was here. He joined us. As you might recall, Josh Berry was behind the wheel of Chase's car at one point this year, and it worked out really well for him. Segue to you. I mean, what was it like watching Josh Berry out there? I mean, it really, really opened doors for him.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of that in the works prior to that opportunity at that point in time for him. But, I like Josh a lot. I think a lot of him. I think he's a very talented race car driver, and he's just a guy that's hung in there. He's hung in there, continued to work hard. I know Dale is a big believer in him, and from a short track standpoint, he and I spent a lot of time racing at a lot of the same racetracks. We were in a little different style car, but there was always a lot of respect on my end to Josh and what he was doing from afar. I never knew him very well, but I think you kind of just appreciate when you see a guy that's out there doing things seemingly the right way and having success and seem to be having fun with it too. So I've always appreciated that about Josh, and I thought he came in a tough situation and did our team a solid job. And I hope that helped him get all the things that he was hoping to achieve and his new opportunity. And I'm looking forward to racing with him next year.
All right, hey, before I let you go, I saw the ran Slinger, and you've got Berlin still on the schedule in a super late month, right? So, what do you think that's going to be like?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a while since I've been to Berlin, but I've really just enjoyed the challenge of this year in those cars. I've run just a little here and there over the past 3 or 4 years, kind of hit or miss. Ran the snowball a couple of years ago, but I haven't really run a handful of races in the same season. So we've had a blast with it, and it's a lot of the same guys that I raced with when I was coming along, when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. So we all kind of went in our different directions and kind of found our way back to this opportunity to go and to run some races. So it's really been, for me, probably more just kind of having an opportunity to get back together with some of those guys and go race with them and kind of work through the challenges of trying to make those cars better together. So I've enjoyed that aspect and look forward to doing more of it at Berlin.
All right. So just lastly, the Georgia Bulldogs, three-peat. Yeah. What do you think? Three-peat? I mean, it's coming up on the season.
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't see them going away anytime soon. I think whether they win it again this year or not, I think they're going to be in the hunt for
I think so.
a pretty good while. So just the landscape of college football, is super interesting. But I'm excited about the season. Tennessee's got a program that's getting better, which I think makes it fun. Obviously, Alabama's going to be good again, and Georgia's right up in the hunt too. So I'm looking forward to watching. Certainly hope they can get it done, though. 3 in a row would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're worthy of watching. Probably number one to start the season, right? So, hey, Chase, thanks for the time. I appreciate you joining us here. Best of luck in Richmond.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you. Folks, we appreciate you joining us here on Cup Connection. We hope we'll see you again next Friday.